Yeah, baby, it's true. Got a lot of bad habits, yes we do. Even the good fruit turn black and blue. Whatever it is, baby, we gon' make it through. But I'm not like you, I got a heart, baby, yeah. Love makes me do things that are so crazy, yeah. Hey. But I know one thing, don't tell me you're mine. And go act like that, don't say you're leaving. And go run right back, I'm such a fool. Yeah, like that, don't say you're leaving, yeah. And then run right back, yeah, yeah, baby, it's true. Hey, it'll be real for me, not you. Through the concrete jungle, baby, blues. But this is the type of love that I refuse. Darling, just go cut me loose. I'm not like you, I got a heart, baby, yeah. Love makes me do things that are so crazy, yeah. And I know one thing, don't tell me you're mine. And go act like that, don't say you're leaving. And go on right back, I'm such a fool. React like that, don't say you're leaving. And then run right back, take it away, Marty, let's go, hey, ooh. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, hanging out in Nashville with my new friend, but amazing artist that I've followed since the beginning of his career, Rome, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, y'all?
Dude, so nice to have you, man. Thank you for coming and taking out the time.
No way, it's an honor.
Dude.
Plus, I'm only like 20 minutes away.
Yeah,
so
this is
like, I didn't have to take a freeway. This is like amazing.
Love it, man. Well, just want to, hang and we can talk and maybe play some tunes. What do you think?
That sounds good to me. That
Cool.
sounds like a lot of fun.
My career that I have now started in 2008. And 2008 was me just discovering things. So I'd say by 2009, I was like, oh, I got something going here with this YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And I remember teaching Lay Me Down.
Yeah, yeah.
With Dirty.
That was like the first, that was the thing that broke me.
So you and Dirty Heads, and that was like a huge song. I connect to you, Rome, with like the beginning of my career.
Which is the beginning of mine,
Right.
ironically.
So
that's kind of rad.
Yeah.
I mean, I always tell people too, and I'm a firm believer, but it's like, it's one song away. Like you are like one video or one, and obviously it takes a million things to get to that point, right?
Right.
Like that meme of the iceberg, right?
Yeah,
Coming
yeah,
out of the
yeah.
water, which is so true. Like that one song just like blew open doors for me.
Amazing.
And, it took obviously a bunch to get to that one song, but when that one song happened, like everything just started really
How did
coming
you
together
meet those
fast.
guys? Like, how did that happen?
Similar to your story where you were jamming at Le Cave, like I was cutting my teeth in Orange County at this place called Mozambique.
Yeah,
really playing anywhere, but Mozambique.
Is that in
gave me,
Laguna
like,
Beach?
Yeah, it's in Laguna.
Yeah, dude, I played there.
Dude, right?
Yeah,
that
super
place is
nice.
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
really nice.
They started giving me like $400 a week to play for like 5 hours a week.
Nice.
Like a 5-hour set. And I mean, I was living out of my van, so that was like money to me,
and
man. I was living, going to the beach every day, playing music, jamming on Wednesdays, and that was my thing. And then eventually I started to like bump shoulders with people in town, and I started hanging out at this recording studio in Costa Mesa and 17th Street. And he was in a band with the bass player from Sublime, Eric Wilson. And so the bass player to Sublime would frequent this studio every once in a while and hang out and smoke weed and listen to records. And I would just be like, dude, that's like the guy. Like, they're like my childhood favorite band.
And who knew what was about to happen?
Never in a million years. Like when I first saw him, I was just like, that was just cool, him hanging.
Totally.
But we started to like hang out and then eventually, started to like go to his parties. And then at that same studio, this band was like rehearsing and they would like go there and just practice. And they did all their earlier records with this producer there. And that was the Dirty Heads. And so I was like watching the Dirty Heads practice, and I'd be in the control room just like, whoa, who are these guys? What a cool sound. The hip hop and the acoustic, and then like, you know, the reggae. And like, eventually it was like my turn. You know, I was just sitting there one day. You know, I told them, I was like, when I first went to that studio, I was like, dude, if you guys ever need anything, like your floor swept, like whatever, you want me to go get cheeseburgers? I'll do anything. I just want to hang out in this room with you guys, because like, I'm learning a lot.
This is it, yeah.
You know, this is where I always wanted to be. I swear, man, it was just like, all right, you sing and play? Like, what's your thing? You're always playing guitar. I'm like, yeah, I sing. And they're like, do you write songs? I'm like, I do. And they're like, play me one. I'm like, all right. And I like played one, and they were like, damn, okay. Okay, let's record that. That was some of the first songs on the Sublime with Rome record. Like, eventually the manager of the Dirty Heads was just like, hey, you should meet up with those guys sometime and do a song together. We'll arrange it. And we just met up in one of the singer's backyard, Duddy, and we met in his backyard. And I had this idea for the chorus for a while that like, lay me down, with like a syncopated kind of dance hall thing. And then I had like the minor verses. And then I remember showing it to them, and then they like put this whole like Western theme to it and like started rapping about the sheriff, and I just remember being like, oh my God, what'd you do to this song? Like, no, I did not like it, man. And then after a while, it kind of grew on me, and then it sat for a year, and then finally like Kevin Weatherly over at K-Rock, he like heard the song, and he just was like, play it again, play it again, play it again, put it on radio. You kind of come to this place where you realize you're like, it's not about you. And we're like, you know, I mean, to some degree, because you got to write this shit, but it belongs to the people, you know, the music, like, and I've learned a lot of that through like playing with Sublime, you know, like, because I can see how something like this can really get to like someone's head and like blow them up, you know, artificially. But when I'm like on stage and I'm like singing these Sublime songs, like Santeria, for example, and like no matter like where I'm at, it could be in like Brazil, or it could be in Montreal, or it could be in Chicago, and it's pretty much the same exact thing. It's like I can literally see it on people's faces of them going back to a time where they connected to this song. Like, so it's like nothing to do with me, nothing to do with Eric or whoever's on drums or whatever. It's like, it's just the music.
Yeah, and there's two sides to like doing something like singing for Sublime. One, you're paying homage, you know the role. So in that regard, you know what you're supposed to do. But being your own artist is exploring and trying things.
Yeah,
so there's kind of two sides to it. Yeah,
100%, totally. But you know, that's the fun part about, you know, the job. It's like, you know, if you wanted something where you could like read an instruction manual, you know, you could like, I don't know where I heard this, but it was on YouTube. Some like super dope, you know, like YouTube musician guy was just like, it's harder than rocket science because there's an instruction manual to build a rocket. And I'm like, oh, I love that. One of my cousins is like a rocket engineer, so I've like used it on him. He's like, I don't practice Santeria, I ain't got no crystal ball, and I had $1 million, but I'd spend it all if I can find my Hannah and that Sancho that she found. Well, I'd pop the cap in Sancho and I'd smack her dead down. What I really want to hear, baby. What I really wanna say, I can't if mine. Well, it's love that I need, oh, but my soul lets go. Baby, what I really wanna say is there's just one way back and I'll make it, yeah. But my soul left to to wait. Yeah, yeah.
I saw you did something with Jelly Roll.
Yeah, man.
So that's a Nashville thing.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, this was like when I first moved to town. Jelly works really closely with Stone Baby Sounds, who's awesome producer. He lives out here in Nashville as well, in South Nashville. So Jelly wanted to do like this like hip hop album because he was starting to like really break into the country thing. This was, I think, before him blowing up super big. And like right before, and he wanted to like get this like hip hop album out before, you know, everything changed. This is what was told to me, so you know, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
They reached out and were like, you know, hey man, you know, would love to have you on the song. And I listened to the song, I'm like, this is awesome, you know, I'd love to. And I'd been familiar with like some of Jelly Roll's work, but I wasn't really like, you know, like a super familiar with it yet. It's like 6 months later, I feel like he was just boom, you know what I mean? Like taking off.
I think it's the Rome effect.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm just
Let's
lucky,
just say
man.
it. I'll say.
I swear.
Yeah, you're my guest right now, so I'm gonna just tell all of them it's the Rome effect.
You know what's awesome, man, is I met up with these young cats last year. They're a band called Sitting on Stacy. They're really hardworking kids, and they got a cool sound. And we met up in the studio last year, and we recorded a batch of songs. And you know, I didn't really know where they were gonna go. But one of them is like really impacting radio right now. It's a song called Tokyo.
Okay.
And like K-Rock added it, 91X added it, Live 105 added it, Colorado added it. So it's like, it's really cool to see like, you can step into the studio with an artist and just like kind of amplify what they're doing without kind of injecting yourself, but just kind of hoping that you can bring out the best of what they do. And then I feel like that's like something that I've been kind of gifted with, is like, kind of trying to like shut myself up in the studio and just kind of help the artist speak a little bit. So like, you know, to do it now solo on myself, it's like such a weird situation because I haven't done that for myself in like so long, you know?
How long did you sing with Sublime now?
Dude, almost like 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I started jamming with Eric in 2007, 2008. And then we played Smoke Out in 2009. Yeah, so yeah, close to 15 years. That's like crazy. That's like a long time to have a job, you know?
Yeah.
Like any job, you know? Yeah. Like that's a long time to be doing something, you know? So,
I've been doing this 16 years, but it's evolved, you know? I wasn't doing this.
It changes, and
Yeah.
you know? And that's the thing, you know, with something like, you know, like Sublime or even something like Queen or Journey, it's like, you have to, it's capped with as far as like where you want to take it respectfully, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, with something like this, though, it belongs to you, and it's whatever you want it to be, you know? Like, you know, obviously, you could lose some subscribers if you know, turn it into like a Tool show overnight or something, baking cakes, but, you know, it's your dream, you know?
Nice.
Whatever you want. Ooh, love that. Let's go. But when you grab a hold of me, tell me that I'll never be set free. 'Cause I'm a parasite, creeping, crawl, I step into the night. 2 pints of booze. Tell me, are you a bad fish too? Are you a bad fish too? Yeah. Ain't got no hormones with God. A lot of like the artists now that like, you know, he'll like come across and stuff, they're like skipping the whole van part. And like, you know, you're getting a song blowing up on TikTok and you're going straight to the bus.
Wow.
And that's like, that's kind of a trip, you know? Like if you think about that, because there's something about those days that kind of set you up for the bus.
And also being in the van is helping give you your drive to get out of the van.
You're so right about that. Because if you've ever spent any tour in the band, you're like counting down the days, like, we got to make this work.
Yeah.
We have to figure this out.
Tell me about the guitar before we play.
Huge shout out to my boy, Mike Schwartz over at Fender. All I ever wanted when I was a kid was just a Fender Stratocaster. And then my dad came home from the pawn shop with a Samick.
Yeah.
And I would just like lie to all my friends, be like, it's a Fender Strat, but you know, the neck broke, so we had to fix it. And then when I met up with the Sublime guys and we were gonna play our first show, like Mike Fender, he reached out and was just like, hey, what do you play? And I'm like, Fender Stratocaster forever, and the only guitar I'll ever play. And I mean, they've just like taken care of me forever. And I'm not a guitar player with like a million guitars, so I don't hit them up ever for like stuff. So in return, it's really cool. They just send me things that they think I would like. And I like love that.
Awesome.
And this is one of them that, you know, like never on paper would, you know, like, oh, I want the Bruno Mars guitar. But, you know.
So it's a signature?
It's a signature.
Bruno
Mike
Mars
sent it to
signature.
me and he's like, dude, we're doing this guitar for Bruno and it is insane. You have to get one. And I'm like, send it to me. It looks beautiful. I'll shoot a video with it. And yeah, man, I mean, I opened it up and right out the box, I was like, oh, I'm keeping this forever. It's like so nice.
Love it.
It's very important, I feel like, to have people in your life to tell you that something sucks or to tell you that that's a bad idea. And when you don't like, for most people, you know, if you have friends, your friends will tell you that. But in entertainment, like, you don't really like get real friends like that, you know? You have like, you gotta hold on to the friends that you had before because that's really important. But after you come into the situation, the people you meet in some way or another, like, you know, they kind of gas you up, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really easy to get like inflated and, you know, not know if you're any good. And with my manager, you know, he's a hard ass. You know, people are like, you know, they're like, how do you work with a guy like that? But it's like, because he's like gangster and he speaks his mind. The way he sees, I respect that. And I respect his taste. So it's like we align on that, you know? We want the same thing. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, I've always just kind of like loved him for just the fact that he's always been like, I think we can work on better songs. Or like, you know what, let's really put the emphasis on, you know, the fans on this tour and really, you know, do something special like that versus like spend the money on like, you know, lights and, you know, like just these things where I'm like, okay, you're all about the same thing that I'm all about and you're honest with me. So we're gonna stay close, you know? You don't get that.
Yeah, I feel like you're entering a new phase.
Yeah, totally. I mean, now it's like, you know, I can like do everything that I have in my head creatively that without any sort of limitations, like, you know, to have to like pay respects to, you know? Like with Sublime, everything was like kind of underneath the pretense of like, you know, paying homage to, you know, to Sublime.
It's a very
like,
specific role.
Totally, and like, which was amazing and like the like fun part about it. But in there, you have to be respectful, you know, at least in the way I saw it was like always be respectful to like the integrity of what Sublime was.
Dude, you
know?
crushed that.
Thanks, man. I had a lot of fun doing it, you know? It's like working with my friends and it's like my influences. I get to like hit them up and like, you guys want to work on some of this music? And I don't know, it's just like, it's awesome, but it's such a different role because like doing that, I've always, aside from that, been like producing and writing for other artists. And that's always been like my, you know, I guess kind of like my whole MO is just always like helping other people create. But, you know, ever since the pandemic, like nobody was doing nothing. Nobody was doing sessions, like Sublime wasn't touring. We were just sitting around. So I like popped on the camera and just started live streaming and connecting with some of these people that I've been touring with for years. And they were like, hey, do you got any new songs? Like, do you have songs? And I was like, oh, well, maybe a couple. You know, and then it just started to kind of feed this thing where I was like, dude, okay, let's make some music, you know, and see where this goes. And
do you remember the first like little thing you learned on guitar?
Oh, dude.
Was it a chord or a song or a riff?
The very first riff that I learned how to play on guitar was...
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget, because my best friend came to school like the next day and was like...
Yeah.
I'm like... You learned that? Dude, come on. Yeah.
I still remember my friends being able to go.
Gee.
Well,
I should hang out with those
guys.
guys.
No, yeah. All All right, just want to thank Rome again. You guys can check out links in the description below for all his social media. Not the Roman Empire, but Rome.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, and good luck with everything. Hopefully we'll cross paths again.
Good heck
and
yeah.
Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you later.
Later. Ain't got no time to get high. Lord knows I'm weak. Want somebody get me out of this reef. Hey, baby, you're a big blue whale. Grab the reef, but on the diving face. I swim, but I wish I'd never heard. The water's too polluted now with germs. I dive deep, it's 10 feet overhead. Grab the reef underneath my bed, but I ain't got no corals with God. Ain't got no time to roll. But Lord knows I'm weak. Want somebody get me out of this reef. Take it away, go. Corals, the guy got no time to roll. Lord knows I'm weak. Want somebody get me off of this reef. The reverse rake, yeah.